13,580 pounds. This is a big, beautiful, just slick, clean looking Fusion. This thing's slick as a skateboard trick. Here at HaylettRV of Coldwater, Michigan. If you would like to see if we have this or any other Fusion in stock, all you need to do is visit the link in the YouTube video description. Visit our website, give our team a call, pop by our dealership. You know, whatever works for you. We clearly publish pricing on what we have in stock. We don't publish RVs we don't have in stock because we don't do bait and switch practices. And we do not engage in hidden fees at our dealership. So, all the technicality stuff out of the way, let's focus on what is the single best-selling name in fifth wheel toy haulers, the Keystone Fusion. These guys have become the kings and trendsetters of the market. How is that? I want to try to point out the areas where I feel this thing is just absolutely stellar. At its heart, though, what is a Fusion? What makes Fusion tick? It's basically a Montana toy hauler. It's a luxury fifth wheel first. It's a toy hauler second. But it does both very, very well. So, little things like this. This is the in-command system. Like, this looks scary, having the little protective shield down here. But this is one of the coolest, best parts about this. It's one of the things our actual service team was the most excited about. Because, first of all, Keystone is the first towable manufacturer that actually color codes every wire in their RVs. That is not normal. So, for troubleshooting purposes, although the Fusions and Impacts that we carry here at HaylettRV have been statistically the best quality toy haulers that we have by far. They've been amazingly clean. They have not come back for service. We've literally not yet had one come back for service. Eventually, one probably will. But the point is, what they're doing well. This is part of that. So not only is everything color-coded, but you see that these are all high-current automotive fuses in here. They're not little cheap RV fuses. So if you're going down the road and something pops, you can go to any AutoZone or whatever, O'Reilly Auto Parts, and get fuse replacements for this thing. Now, inside, there's an in-command control panel. It's a digital touchscreen that'll allow you to control awnings and tank monitor. It does everything. It's the brain of the RV. It's the heart. Now you can get the in-command app for your phone, and you can do anything that the in-command system can do. You can do off your phone. You can check your tank levels. You can operate your awnings. You can operate the 6-point hydraulic leveling system. All of that. Now, let's say, God forbid, there's some sort of computer glitch. There's a problem. If you notice out here, there's actually selectors. You can override the panel. You can close all the slides, the awnings, and the jacks. You can manually control everything with these buttons right here. So you always have a get-out-of-jail-free card. Now, the Fusion is one of the few brands of toy hauler out there that is 0 to 100 degree proven, tested, rated. With slides out, mind you. That's another thing you have to watch out there. Some brands like to test these things with the slides closed. This is going to be a long video. This might be a multi-parter. So that's their Blizzard package here. Basically, you know, enclosed, heated, ducted heat in the underbelly, extra insulation in the underbelly. They wrap insulation all the way around the nose cap. They stuff insulation above the pin box here, which is an area a lot of brands miss. Stuff like that. So this is I guess as much as a 4 Seasons RV as a toy hauler is going to get, you know, because they passed the highest, hardest rated testing out there. 5,500 ohm in generator, standard as a matter of happenstance on these, so that you can enjoy your full 50 amp service appliances anywhere you go. And you're going to notice you have a really heavy-duty shock dampening both pin box and suspension system on your Keystone Fusion series, so that you get smoother drive when you're heading down the road. Now, these are wide body, but more than that, they're not just a wide body shell, they're actually built atop a wide body chassis, and that is such a critical area. I can't even begin to describe to you how many brands miss that. They'll build a wide body coach, but it's still on a standard 8-foot wide body chassis, not 100 or 102 inch. That means that they're not as stable, they're more tipsy, they're gonna rock and roll, plus they're not as good in transit. Now, if you look up top, you can see this insane spike protrusion up here. This actually now has the opportunity to have 4G LTE Wi-Fi integrated into this thing. So we are on the very bleeding edge, the cusp of the technology razor for towable technology right here. Very cool stuff. It's very easy and simple to stay connected with the Keystone Fuzion here at HaylettRV. So I mentioned 6-point hydraulic leveling system over here. We have our fully enclosed protected docking station, which is one of the areas that allows them to achieve that cold camp rating. Now, things like this is something Keystone does on almost all, I mean, pretty much all their fifth wheels at this point. This like hammered tin slide skin right here. It pulls the seals so that you get better action on those wipe seals. Now, not only that, but their slides are always triple sealed. When they're folding in and out, you can see a second seal in there. There's actually 2 seals in contact. When it's all the way in or out, there's a 3rd seal in contact. Now, even little stuff like this. If you look at this piece of trim right here, there's actually a groove right there where my finger is. That's so that if water trickles down the slide wall, it hits this inversion and drips down, because without assistance, water can't go up. It can only go down. Look at that. Just gorgeous. Gorgeous high gloss skin on this thing too. And this is actually a raised graphic. That's not just a decal. That is a raised like mirrored looking thing on here. I'm struggling with words today. I need some more caffeine apparently. Your fuel station. You've got twin 30-gallon separate fuel tanks. One dedicated to the generator. One dedicated to the actual fuel station itself. So, I mean, that's fantastic. Now you're gonna see some of the biggest, if not the biggest windows in the garage of this toy hauler, some of the biggest in the industry. It absolutely lights up in the garage. It's just fantastic how much lighting you get in there. And that's one of the things that has helped make Fuzion so successful, is they were one of the very first who attacked the garage and said, what else can it be? It doesn't just have to be a place where you park a motorcycle or an ATV. It could be so much more. And they've got one of the best living room arrangements in a garage I've ever seen. You've got the always-on side mount ladder over here. Makes it easy to clamber up and down for seasonal upkeep. You'll see this on a lot of high-quality RVs here at Haylett's. That wrap-over roof line. Now, what they're doing, it's, again, just constructed exactly like the Montana roof, where you take an area of high stress, which is where the wall meets the roof, and you move the seam away from it so that the seam doesn't get wore out and cause leaks. Now, on top of that, there's actually a very long aluminum plank extrusion that wraps around from the sidewall to the roof that is also secured in place on top of that seam, so that there are multiple layers of lashings holding this together. It's very similar to what you call hurricane banding in houses like built in Florida. Now, we've been a Fuzion dealer for a while now, and when I did this video before, I guess I didn't explain this clearly enough, so I wanted to go out of my way to really point this out. You've seen the patio party deck before. You've seen this cable drawbridge system 100 times. But Fuzion's done something different. They have allowed a side entry step on their patio. They have the new MORride QuickSet 2.0 patio system on this. This has a triple awning, triple entry system. You've got 1, 2, 3 set of stairs to get in and out of this beauty. Now, last year, I failed because I didn't disconnect this cable and set down the feet. I guess cut that corner, didn't think about it, but people said, well, I don't like the steps because you have to duck under it. No, you don't. That's why these feet are right here. So you have open, unobstructed views here. Now, I left that cable hooked up just so that folks got the idea, because someone else is going to say, well, I can't believe they don't have cables. I don't want to use the feet. You can do both. You can do either. And the thing is, guys, when the cable's there, I know it looks like it's visibly obstructive, but when you're walking up the stairs, you just go under it. It's just not in the way. It's just not a real world problem. Now, the whole garage tailgate system on a Keystone Fuzion is completely different from basically anything else. It's a MORride 0G system. I've actually done a separate video on that. You can visit on our YouTube channel or give us a call and we'll email it to you. But when you close this door, it's just like a tailgate on a car. It automatically latches, locks itself. And just like a car, what you do is you come over here with a key. You turn that little key specific to this garage door, so nobody else has your key, by the way, and it will unlatch and you can pull it down. Now, what's great is you can pull it down halfway and you can leave it sitting there and it holds. It doesn't fall and slam to the ground. You don't have to, like, you know, duck and get out of the way and tell the kids to look out. It's way more secure. And it's also, I mean, you can literally just flip it and forget it. It will flip itself shut. Now, that requires 12-volt power, so your battery, your truck power, something like that. Now, what if you don't have that? Well, when you're inside the RV, just like the trunk of a car, if you ever get locked in the trunk of a car, there's a release switch here. You pull that, it will manually disengage lock on the door. You can literally just push it down. There's no downside. It is 100% better than anything else out there. Now, I kind of skipped over these MORryde stable steps. They have become vastly more common than they used to, but Keystone, Montana, and Fuzion partnered up together, and they had this literally 1 year before anybody else. These things are absolutely awesome. They are the most stable, sturdy thing. Now notice here how these feet, you know, the whole stairs almost just touch the ground, but over here you can see how the feet are telescoped down. That's because I purposely left the nose of this trailer sticking up in the air. I purposely did not level this coach so that I could demonstrate how the feet are totally adjustable. You can make them fit your site. The other thing is they are so super sturdy. You can jump and stomp all over this thing. Even without all the jacks down, the coach doesn't go anywhere. You've got, I pointed it out up front and I mentioned it, but I just want to show you, you've got just a ridiculous rubber shock dampening chuck system in that suspension. These have a fantastic ride for such a big coach. And before I step inside the garage area here, I want to point out this handy little utility center right here. Now, instead of what a lot of brands do, is they'll put a tool chest in the dovetail of the garage right there. But you have to open the garage door, you have to move your choice. It's a pain in the butt to get to. Well, now that's not a problem. And this is actually built below the floor. It's mounted to under the chassis. So it doesn't take up any interior space. It's bonus space, guys. But what this does is it gives you a perfect place to keep all your tools and whatnot. And if you get in here and you look, it's actually got both household and USB outlets. You can charge your phones, you can run power tools out here. If you have a bike you need to do some power tool wrenching on, it can only do everything. Now, the door here, these are friction hinged, so you may have noticed the awning's kind of fluttering a little bit here as this thing fluttered into our dealership at HaylettRV, dadjokes.com. The doors, they're not going to slam open or shut in the wind. If the kids walk out of the garage or whatever, or you've had one too many barley pops and you're not paying attention, you fling the door, it's not going to whack against the window or nothing stupid. I want to point out a key thing here though. If you look straight onto this, you notice how the stairs are literally in front of, on top of the wheel well. They would interfere with the wheel if this had a traditional step system. That is the beauty of these MORryde stable steps right here, is that they do not interfere with the wheel wells. This floor plan, this living room, this kitchen literally would not be possible without these flippin' sweet steps. I love these things. We're gonna step inside here, and if you wanna feel like, you know, you're gonna be the bouncer at the bar, you can, you know, kind of, you have your little red rope right here. You could be like, I'm sorry, your name's not on the list. Y'all gonna have to step off here for a minute. Anyway, so let's start at the bottom and work our way up. This has their 5K interlock tie-down system. You got a 5,000 pound pull-tested tie-down system here. If you look in their literature, if you visit Keystone's website, you're going to see a picture where they put a side-by-side ATV on this floor, flipped it upside down, and it didn't rip out of the floor. That's darn impressive to me. So let's say, God forbid, you have a disaster and you roll your RV. There's actually a very good chance your ATV is going to come out of it pretty much unscathed. I hope none of that happens, however. But notice too, not only do they have like normal tie downs in the very back here, but everything has like 5-point adjustable hookups. So, and you've got 9 of those in here. Now what they do is this has what looks like waffle style construction in the floor. It doesn't just have I-beams that run the length. It also has cross members that go sideways to give it a really heavy duty floor rating, which is what, and these, it looks like they're just screwed on top of the floor. They're literally welded to the chassis reinforcement. So they are welded straight to the frame of the coach. They're not going anywhere. They're probably one of the strongest things in this entire RV. Likely overbuilt. Now, back here, remember I said that Fuzion was one of the first to say, it's a garage. Sure, but what else could it be? look at these huge windows. And look at how open and expansive it feels, and the views that you get back here. It's just awesome. Now, if you want to just enjoy some rainy day airflow, you can detach this right here so that it's easy to pull down. But you've got your handy screen door system here, and notice that you can actually leave it halfway down. That's my preferred style of garage screen door. Let's see here. What am I looking at? Oh, like all toy haulers basically have this. You've got the Happy Jack bed lift with the 2 sofas that come down, the folding armrest that looks like a theater seat. I'm not spending time on that because everything has it. And yes, there is a bed above us, and it's like a big giant, queen above us here on that power lift. So obviously you can leave the bed locked up in place with those silver little grenade pins, so when it's... Oh, by the way, speaking of grenades, you don't want a bombs away situation. If the sofas are down, don't pull those pins, because they're what's holding it up there. You have to lift the sofas all the way up, pull the pins, then drop it. All right. So you're looking up here, and you're like, yeah, I get it. It's a nice TV. That's cool, but it's awful high. Yeah, well, they thought of that. Look at this. It comes right down to you. And then you're saying, yeah, but it's kind of hard to see when I'm sitting on the sofa. Well, look at that. They thought of that too. So when I'm sitting over here with my arm up on the armrest and my foot across my, legs, I'm just sort of chilling out here. I wore my running shoes with my slacks today. That's a terrible mismatch, but it is comfortable. I may see how long I can get away with it. You get a great view of this thing. And then when you need to load your toys, when you're done with it, one hand. You just don't have to muscle this thing. Now, looking up here, washer dryer hookups in every Fuzion. So you have, the ability to full-time, seasonal, etc. We have a lot of people start buying toy haulers as alternative bunkhouses, as an extended living room with a built-in 3 seasons room and dedicated patio deck. It can be, here's another cool use for this. If you're not going to put a washer dryer in here, that space is freaking perfect for a small little chest freezer that you can plug into a normal outlet. How cool is that? Now, you're going to see these things. These are AC thermostat sensors. And what's great about a Fuzion is it actually has a triple air conditioner system. So you've got absolute maximum airflow and comfort in this thing. I'm going to swap batteries, and we'll see you back inside. Now, welcome home. And tell me, culture shock, does this look like a toy hauler? It totally does not. It looks very upscale. It looks very residential in a lot of ways. But this is that in-command system I was telling you about. You come over here. Now you can passcode protect this, but what's neat is your daily use stuff. Like if you have your buddy Greg is over, I use the word name Greg a lot, but you can walk in here, tap, interior lights, and boom! She lights up like a Christmas tree, ladies and gentlemen. So it is nice, bright in here. We've got indirect lighting up there above the kitchen cabinets. We have indirect lighting around the kitchen skylight you can see from here. And at night, that indirect lighting is the perfect night light. And you can operate the ceiling cabin lights separately from the indirect lights. But it is nice that they have a one-switch convenience feature to them. Now, standing here, this is just beautiful. I love how, even though this is only a one-slide living room, it's like a mega slide, because if you notice, the refrigerator is actually part of the slide out. We'll get back to that in a minute. But it feels anything but small in here. And, it's just got such a good luxury look and feel to it. So whether you're, the TV in its current position is fine. But if you want to sit over here, you can actually, I got to grab the correct side of it. You can kick the TV around. You can sit at the bar stools. You can stand in the kitchen. Everybody gets a good shot at this thing. So not only can you get a free app to control that digital panel from your pocket, you're not just relegated to every time you want to turn the lights on and off, you don't have to get up and go over here. You can do it right from your phone. But your stereo system, you can actually get an app for that, the J-Control app, and you can control your stereo from your phone too. And I love the tie-in with the stainless fireplace, that electric space heater that we call a fireplace. It's really sharp, but it's not like diamond plate. It's residential. It looks like the front of a refrigerator. It looks fantastic. Now, this ladder that's kind of halfway hidden behind the TV here, I want to point a couple things out. Notice you can leave the ladder here without obstructing that extremely wide pass-through door. Most toy haulers can't do that. Most toy haulers, the ladder mounts right above it. But what's more, above this, now this could be a loft for a bed. It could be an attic storage. I've seen these used a lot. Fuzion's the only brand I've ever seen do this. They have a second set of like feet hooks on here so that when you do drop that power bed in the back, you actually have a better secure position to mount this so that the ladder doesn't have to be at such an extreme angle and risk bending over time. Now, oh, I love these. These little swing out stools. You look at them at a glance, you're like, oh, neat, yeah, they're stools, blah, blah, blah. But, sorry, hopefully you don't actually sound like that. In my head, I guess that's what everybody sounds like today. Check this out. They're like steel reinforced, and then the whole kitchen here is actually reinforced down to the ground. They leave you leg room over here so you can actually sit at the countertop. But I mean, check this out. If I don't kill myself, you can literally just stand on these things. They're incredibly sturdy and stable, and I weigh just shy of 200 pounds right now. I had a pretty big breakfast. I actually might have broke the 2 mark. I got to get back on the treadmill. And I mean, so this is like the coolest little party spot in the world. The party always ends in the kitchen. I love this floor plan because it is the kitchen. It's the party. This is the fun spot. And how many toy haulers have this kind of countertop space and this kind of cabinet space? Toy haulers don't get that. They just usually don't. And that's what I mean by the fact that this is a luxury toy hauler first. And that's why I love the Fuzions here at HaylettRV. They have done it different. They've done it better. And that is, again, why they are the single best-selling name in fifth wheel toy haulers. Now, this is, again, a thing that we see mirrored with the Montana fifth wheels that we have here at HaylettRV. That's an 18 cubic foot gas and electric fridge, the largest RV fridge ever produced. It's fantastic, and I prefer this for mobile applications because if you're going to go off the beaten path, you can kick this thing over to gas mode if need be, or if you lose power, you run out of gas in the generator, whatever, it'll take care of itself. Now we've got, being a super tall toy hauler, we've got super tall slide outs, which means super tall windows, and these windows, by the way, when you're ready for privacy time, they do have blackout night shades, and you can use the force to lift them. Check that out. That's a miracle. Now, this thing is fantastic, and I've seen furniture like this in a few RVs before. The Thomas Paine, T-Pain! This is a triple section recliner, and a lot of people look at this and they say, oh, that's unfortunate, only the ends recline. And the answer is, nope, whole thing reclines. It's a whole reclining party couch. If your buddy's had too much to drink and you don't want him to drive home, he can crash on here for the night. And when you're hooked up to 110 power, or running your generator, you can actually have heated and massaging seating on each end. Pretty dang slick. I told you, this thing is slick as a skateboard trick. I said that. I'll say it again. Slick as a skateboard trick. I've said it 3 times. How about that? So, I mean, just the little tie-ins, like the almost chrome look and feel, the way it ties into the appliances. And, you know, normally I'm not a fan of the two-tone kitchen thing, but it makes the floor plan look and feel larger. It works. Every ounce of this thing works. You've got wall-controlled ceiling fans here so that, you know, you can exhaust heat while you're cooking, if you are cooking in the kitchen here, whether it's the convection microwave oven or that recessed stovetop, which I love the fact that the solid surface countertops allow us to have a recessed stove and sink so that we've got everything, you know, nice and level and planed off, and you've got all the prep space in the world. And how cool does this thing look? How modern and edgy and fancy is this thing? It is just cool looking. I'm glad they put these switches here because I forget to talk about them outside. Part of the Blizzard package that allows them to achieve their good temperature ratings on this in cold camp situations is the fact that you do have tank heaters for all your tanks on a Keystone Fuzion. That's a fantastic thing there. Walking upstairs, let's peek at the bathroom. Beautiful. Now, notice solid surface here too. So you've got a direct material match with the kitchen. It's a different shade, but it's a material match right here. And that is a very deep, large stone cast sink. It's rated up to 500 degrees. So in English, you ain't gonna burn it. You ain't gonna bust it. You're not gonna damage it. Porcelain bowl foot flush stool. I love the integrated clothes hamper there because it gives you a place to put yesterday's clothes, which is a problem a lot of RVs have. Now, you can see that I didn't point this out in the kitchen, but even here in the bathroom, everywhere you're going to see hidden hinge cabinetry throughout. Now, in a lot of instances here, When I pull the camera back, when there's something else bright in the frame, you can see how things get dark. The cabinetry is not nearly as dark as it appears. It's actually very welcoming and comforting in here. A seamless one-piece molded shower with no little leaks points on this anywhere possible. And we've got a handy little seating area in the corner for those who maybe want to sit to bathe, shave legs, or if it's just that's your preference, you can do that, you know? And this little spot over here, it's another nice little nook for a wastebasket, which, by the way, there's a wastebasket already included under the kitchen. This is neat to me. I like that you can turn the lights on as you come into the bedroom. You can turn them off as you leave. It just makes sense. Sliding pocket privacy door here. This is their Fuzion King Glide-A-Bed system. Now, because fifth wheel toy haulers are already so big and so heavy, they cannot add the weight of a full bedroom slide. A lot of times that means you're stuck with a queen bed. Fuzion said, forget that. We're Fuzion. We're luxury fifth wheel first. We're putting a king bed in this thing. This is a north-south 80-inch true king bed. You can walk around it. Now the question is, how can you get around it with a wardrobe slide? And the answer is, that's where the whole Glide-A-Bed thing is. The bed, the slide will literally push the bed against the wall. And when you open the slide, it will recoil. It's on like a spring-loaded system. You don't have to physically grab it and go, Arr! You don't have to muscle this thing. It's easy. Especially with my chicken arms. I'd never get that done. My little chicken arms. And I love the fact, by the way, that they did not put a door on that little storage compartment right there, because it could open behind the flange of that slide and get broken. They made this thing, like, close to unbreakable, basically. Full walk-in height bedroom, by the way. I'm 6'3", walking around in here, stretching my neck as much like a giraffe as I can. Not a problem. You'll notice behind me, they actually have a bedroom-mounted TV. Hopefully you noticed that. You know, I've got the camera twisted around so weird, you might have missed it. But it's mounted on an angle so that it faces right where you're sleeping, with a little bonus storage below. Those are not deep, but it's anything. Anything is better than nothing. Now, over here in your slide-out, you've got dedicated dresser drawer space right here. More drawer space below the closets. Now you've got an extra drawer below your bathroom linen cabinet. This is directly across from the bathroom. So this is like just overflow pantry, closet space. It could be anything you want it to be. But you've got fantastic hanging storage capacity in here. You've got a big triple section closet just absolutely feeding the beast that is the, you know, the clothing requirements. And I love this window for light and airflow over here. And again, why not just add a fourth section to it? Let me swing around over here. They opened up everything they could. So whether you need overflow beach towels, because remember, you do have dedicated storage in the bathroom. There's just not an ounce of space gone to waste here in a Keystone Fuzion at HaylettRV. So if you're interested in a Keystone Fuzion at HaylettRV, it is as simple as giving us a call, telling us where you are, we make it happen. I don't care where you live. These things are on wheels. We make deals happen. We are just a huge dealer in a very small town, guys. We did not get this size by only dealing with local folks. We do hitching, pieces, parts, trades, finance, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything in between. We only do everything at HaylettRV. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy Haylett camping, everybody. Hey everybody, I'm Josh the RV Nerd. This is Wild Bill McFadden, and we're here by the road, so pardon the road noise. But I wanted to show you something that is unbelievable and pretty much unheard of in the industry here on this new Fuzion toy hauler that we have. It's Flag Day, so I'm sure you won't mind the flag. Nothing wrong with seeing the stars and bars flying around. So with a lot of toy haulers, what's the problem, Bill? It's always like the door is heavy and you feel like it's going to crush you when it comes down, right? Yeah, he's pants miming. I love it. But, you know, and it's kind of one of those things like, well, there's no other way to do it. That used to be true until the guys at Fuzion got together with the good folks here at MoreRide and created the zero-G ramp door system. It is effectively like it's a self-supporting, like automotive power lock door system. It's almost exactly like you have on your car. So this is the actual lock for it right here. Give that a little 1/8 turn, Bill. There you go. I don't know if you folks can hear that, but it power unlocks itself. Now, notice how Bill's pulling on the door. Instead of the door crushing him, he's actually having to pull it down. Watch, go ahead and let go again, Bill. Look at it recoil. The door is holding itself up. Now, pull it down a little bit further. And you notice you can let go right there. And it holds itself. He's not touching it, it's self-supporting. This is the easiest, simplest, bestest ramp door I've ever seen. It's certainly not the least expensive, but it is one of the coolest. And when you're ready to put it away, flip it and forget it. Go ahead, Bill. How awesome is that? Now when it closes, it relocks itself. You don't have to manually lock it with the key. But let's say, like, this only works when you have 12-volt power. If you're plugged into shore power, you have a battery, you're running the generator, this works. Hypothetically though, what if you don't have power for whatever reason? Bill's going to show you where that override is. Let's step inside. It's just as simple, just as easy. It does tend to work a little easier if you have someone on the outside. But you see this yellow ripcord right here. That's a manual latch. You hear that mechanical snap. Now all you do is push the door out, and remember how it's self-supporting. It's not going to slam down. It's not going to snap back at you. That's all there is to it. So, you know, for more insider information like this, you give Mr. Wild Bill McFadden here a call, and you visit us at HaylettRV.com anytime, guys. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.